We are live. This is the Four Bad Boys podcast. I am your host, moderator, Favorite. I got my guy Ryan Anderson with me. Michael and Horatio and Anatole are on assignment tonight. So those guys are on assignment tonight. So just me and Ryan, my Sunday co-host. We got to get these Sundays back up. We got some.
Yeah.
We got to start these crazy.
Yeah, plenty of Sunday, plenty of movies. Here's one that we may want to talk about. Just Eddie Murphy stand-up comedy.
Raw
and Delirious. Raw and Delirious. I watched Raw the other day, and it still holds up, man. I was sitting there laughing the whole time as if the jokes were just brought today.
Yeah, we'll bring those up. Of course, the Kings of Comedy. We got to do Kings of Comedy. That gonna be something we gotta bring back or whatnot. So we be on the lookout for some Sunday shows. I haven't figured out when or what we can do, but we're gonna definitely bring those Sunday shows back. But on today's show, we're gonna talk about NBA. We're gonna see who can match the Celtics energy, Cleveland. But I just don't trust Kenny, even though he's a great coach. He's never been in that spot. But
I don't know if he read it. We'll see. The regular season and the playoffs play two different types of balls, so we'll see.
We definitely gonna see. I don't know why my live is not showing up on my screen, on my other screen. Because I know I'm showing live. Let's see. Facebook, boom. Where is it at? I don't know. But either way, we're gonna make it do what it do. Oh, there we go. Demo machine. Let me stop before I get somebody fired on this joke. But I gotta do something. What I need to be doing, Ryan?
I think you better go on and hit the music fade.
Let's go. And of course, this is the Four by the Boy podcast, and we have a number of sponsors that don't pay us. First one's Crazy Straws. Brian, tell us about it.
Hey, so you want your straws, you want them crazy, get Crazy Straws. Hey, we got everything. We got all types of colors. We got everything. So check this out. If you want NBA straws, if you want the NCAA basketball straws, we got all your teams. Tournament time coming. Get you some Crazy Straws.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Let me get my picture back on the screen. All right. Sundays and Wednesdays, we're going to Oscars going to come up. Are we going to have some black folk with some Oscars? That's the next question. But we'll see. We know the answer. Just for me and Ryan.
Hey, if you like it, hey, let me tell y'all something. I used to be, believe it or not, a big advocate for Just For Me. Used to paint this thing like it was going out of style. But then I grew up and I said, you know what? I'm going to embrace who I am. And look, but hey, if you hadn't embraced it yet, go to Walmart, go to Walgreens, go to CVS, get you that black. Go ahead and paint it. I know a member of this show has been painting his for a minute. But Just For Me, it's not fair about it, but it could be for you.
You heard it here second. Tell everybody something you heard it here first. Dame's podcast, chopping it up, Dame Morano. Holla at your boy. That's Waving Room. Michael Atwater's had waves since 1994. He's bald headed and still had the same waves. That's Waving Room made possible. $4 at Dollar General, $3.97 at the hair stove around the corner. Arizona tea, 99 cents. Give you diabetes in 99 seconds. Take your chance.
You'll be just like Wilford Brimley.
I got diabetes. Of course, we're on Facebook and on YouTube, buynightshirt.com. If you went to HBCU or you pledged one of the Panhandle 9 Greek fraternities for African Americans, go ahead and get you that paraphernalia from them. And of course, our favorite sponsor, Henny and Coke, Crown Royal XO, and Ginger Ale.
The dark liquors.
All right, we got a lot of show to get into on today. I've never picked you a rundown half the time, but we'll do some, start with some NBA before we get to the NFL, of course, because NFL's now turned to a profession that's 365. The NBA is trying to compete with that. NBA ratings were down. Draymond said it sucks. Like, yeah, it kind of because everybody's shooting threes. That's all y'all doing. But this deal here, there. Cleveland has the best record in the NBA. Boston Celtics are the defending champions. Let's put that aside. Who are your 5 top contenders for the Celtics? We're gonna lead the Celtics up top 5 of the champs. They're number 1 until somebody beat them.
Right. So I mean, of course you're gonna look at Cleveland because they had the best record. They in the same conference. These upstart Lakers could be a problem. OKC could be a problem. There are so many that can. I mean, that's just 3 off the top of my dome right there. You know, a lot of teams are playing well. A lot of teams are going to get into the playoffs, like I just said a little while ago before we hit the intro. In regular season ball and the other ball is 2 different things. So you're going to have a different team show up. So we will see. But those 3 right there, they're going to be a problem. And the reason one of them is going to be a problem is because they've changed so much before the trade deadline to the point to where it's like it's not even the same team. And I'm talking about them LA Lakers.
Yeah, that I still can't get over the Luka trade. I think he did a solid with Rob Lincoln because Nico Harrison used to work for Nike. And he had a relationship with Rob Lincoln when he was Kobe's agent. And he also had a relationship with Anthony Davis and several other players. So he did him a solid, like, hey, you're gonna if I trade you, Luka, what would you give me? That's maybe we'll start over a cup of coffee. Just them 2 new. And I think before that conversation even happened, the new owners in the Mavericks, because remember, Mark Cuban does not own the Mavericks anymore.
Correct.
He's not a controlling governor. They probably didn't want to pay Luka that $400 million supermax.
I think that, but this smells reminiscent of the trade that brought Paul Gasol from the Memphis Grizzlies to the LA Lakers, and they end up winning championship after championship. I think they won, what was it, 2 more after that when they
went to the finals 3 straight years and won the final 2.
Yeah, so it smells like that. I just really think that Luka, he liked being in Dallas because he's a ball player. He likes to play. He's a competitor. But to be in a bigger market like LA with all the glitz and glamour, and you know you're gonna be seen, that just hyped him up just enough to where every night he got to go and play. He got to play. You can talk about his weight. You can talk about him not being in shape. He's still a ball player at the end of the day.
He's giving him 30 fat. If he ever gets skinny, he'll look 36. And he actually look a little bit slimmer. He actually does look a little slimmer.
And I mean that's modern day diet and things of that nature. So, you know, he possibly could be getting ready to get into playoff shape. We ain't got but a couple months.
Yeah, and the thing about a lot of people realize he's had 2 months off. So he can make the stretch run. He just got to get in basketball shape, which just like in football, the only way you get in football shape is
playing football.
The best way for the
drill, takes some hits, he shoots the ball, makes the pass, runs up and down that court. I mean, your body is with athletes, you got to remember now. It's just like riding a bicycle, right? You know, we don't forget how to do that. We might not be able to do it as well as we did, but we don't forget. And sooner or later, it's gonna come back to us.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my top 5 teams that could challenge the Celtics. Of course, the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm gonna give a weird now. I'm gonna say the Pacers have a chance because even though they got swept by Boston last year in the conference championship, Halliburton was out for the last couple games.
Okay.
And he could push that tempo really well. I know Boston probably has the best roster I'm only saying they have the best roster because they have probably the best starting five.
Yeah.
And they could go 9, 10 deep if needed. Oklahoma City, they probably got a good 7, maybe 8 if you push it. Boston could go 1 through 10 if they need to. But Indiana has some good size. They have a good bench. They have a point guard that can push the tempo if he stays healthy. I think his hamstrings are a lot better this year because that's what hurt him last year. Because after the NBA Cup, Halliburton had pulled his hamstring in January. He wasn't the same in the second half of the year. But he did come on until the conference championship, hurt his hamstring, is out for the rest of the series.
Right.
But the Pacers, Cleveland, of course, Oklahoma City, Denver. But the only thing with Denver, for what I saw on Saturday night when they played the Lakers, the Denver Nuggets bench is going to kill them. That's what's going to hurt them.
They're going to have to sure up some because, I mean, you can't put it all on the Joker. You can't put it all on Murray. You're going to have, I mean, you can't put it all on Westbrook. And I know Westbrook's part of that team. And we talked about him before, but I mean, in a negative light, and you know he's there, but you got to come with something. Joker can't do it all.
Now, if I'm looking at Russell's stats for this year, he's played in 51 games. I'm gonna say this again: 33% from 3, 64% from the field goal from free throw line. 12 points a game. He's coming off the bench, of course, so these numbers might be a little bit skewed. 47% from the field. So average 3 turnovers and 6 assists. So he's 2-1. Every 2 assists, he gives 1 back.
Now that's not. I mean, you got to remember this is 2-time MVP we talking about here.
He only won 1. He's only won 1.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Well, he's a 1-time MVP, 2-time. Didn't he go triple double 2 years in a row?
I think it was 4.
Was it 4 years in a row? He did a triple double, average a triple double.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he still got it, but I mean, this is when he went to I think that not this last trade, but the one before that, kind of he went. Now he's kind of leveling off again. He is who he is, but he doesn't have that same step and spring, and you know he would get in that lane and poke it on you, you know, like he used to. He's still that guy, but the opportunities are not going to be the same. I just, you know, good player, but he's not who he once was. I would say that.
Yeah, when he was OKC, he got traded to Houston. Then he got traded from Houston to Washington. Then Washington to the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Then to the Jazz, but got cut, and then went to the Clippers. Then got traded back to the Jazz again, got bought out, and then went to Denver.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of teams, man. That's a whole lot of teams for MVP. Usually most of your MVPs, with the exception of probably LeBron, are going to probably play for 1 or 2 teams because your value is so high to those teams because of his erratic numbers, so to speak. You know, he's always out there.
Since I'm gonna give you a stat, since Kevin Durant left, Russell Westbrook has made it out the first round once. That was with the Rockets and James Harden.
Well, there you go. And he didn't, and they couldn't. You know, you remember that All-Star game. Leading up to that All-Star game, you know, they both were All-Stars. Him and KD were both All-Stars. Mm-hmm. And you know, one of the big things was him throwing the oop to KD, and everybody want to clap and everything. If you take a look back before that, the year, I think it was the last year for Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City, they did a docu-pic on him on HBO. They were good friends. They were training buddies and everything. And I don't know what happened to fracture it, but they could have won some championships together if they would just held on. I'm not sure if James Harden is part of that equation because they had to evolve. Don't get me wrong, but I think they could have at least gotten at least 1 championship if you hold on to some of that nucleus. Because I mean, look at the nucleus. Look at the people that have won championships. KD has won a championship since that.
Denver.
Serge Ibaka. Didn't he win one in Toronto?
One in Toronto.
All right.
But they broke up that nucleus though. They got rid of DeRozan to bring in Kawhi, and then they lost Kawhi.
That is. Still, the fact of the matter is, they can have a championship. That team, he could have a championship, but I digress.
Yeah, with the Thunder, I'm going to touch on it right quick. The year after they made the finals, not the year after, the summer after they lost the finals to the Heat, James Harden was up for an extension, and Sam Presti, he's the general manager, great general manager, just haven't won a championship yet with all that talent he's brought in. He was not going over the luxury tax, so that's why they traded James Harden, so they wouldn't go over the luxury tax. It was only $5 million. $5 million. So
you're running the team kind of on the cheap. I get it, but I don't get it. You know what I mean? But at that time, Sam Presti, like you say, he's a great general manager. But was that the right decision? We'll never know because it is what it is at this point.
Yeah. Another team we could look at possibly with. I don't trust Memphis just yet. Not because of Ja, because they coach Taylor Jenkins.
Taylor Jenkins. Let me say something about this team, man. I haven't watched a whole lot of Memphis basketball this year, believe it or not, even living there 20 years. This is what's supposed to happen, right? They're supposed to be, after last year's debacle of Ja coming back from the suspension and then getting injured for the rest of the season. This is what they're supposed to happen. They're supposed to be in contention for the playoffs. They gonna have to. If they get out the first round, I wouldn't be surprised. But going forward, any further than that, I don't see it because I just don't think. Technically, for the past 3 years, this is the third year. I don't see them. I don't see any cohesion. They're gonna have a little better cohesion. Still got some of the same players. You still got Ja. You still got Jaren Jackson Jr. You still got Bane. You still got what's my other guy? Not Bane. The other guy that was run up to the comeback player. Ja gave him the trophy.
That's he gave Bane the most improved player.
Right. So yeah, you still got some of the same team, but are you going to be able to make it cohesive? So I'm gonna have to watch some more. I'm definitely gonna have to tune in some more to watch some more basketball now that football is over with. Matter of fact, right now, as we get closer to March Madness, sitting here watching number 18 Memphis in a game against Rice, where they are Memphis is up by 2, 48-46 on ESPN Plus. Speaking of Memphis, but yeah, this is college basketball as we eat closer and closer toward conference tournaments and the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, looking at, I didn't realize John Moran only played in 36 games, played in 36 games, dog. Only played in 36, of course, started on 36.
Yeah, he had a portion of the first part of the year where he was injured, so.
Yeah, John Conchar, he's a good player. I'm surprised he didn't. He's not getting a little more burn. He's played in only 30 games. Luke Kennard, he's still on the team.
I'm surprised. Now that's a blast from the past. How old is he? Can you check his age for me?
Yeah, he is 28.
Wow, Luke Kennard seemed like he should be at 36 or something like that. Like he should be at the end of a contract. I thought him and what's my guy? That's the head coach of the Lakers, JJ. I thought they came in around the same time, and JJ, I guess he was behind JJ, right?
Way behind JJ. Kennard won that championship in 2010 when they lost to Butler. He was on that team.
Okay. He was on that team with him and Hayward. Was Hayward on that team?
Yeah, Hayward was on that Butler team.
Yeah. Okay.
But looking at these look at these splits for Memphis. Scottie Pippen Jr., who's having a better year than Michael Jordan's son. My bad. My bad. But, I'm sorry.
It don't take it. You know what? When he went to then Michael didn't didn't he go to he went to Central Florida, didn't he, to play basketball?
Scottie Pippen Jr.
Yeah.
No, he went to
no. That's Scottie Pippen Jr. Michael Jordan's son.
I thought it was in Illinois.
I think he transferred at one time. I think he played in Central Florida for a little bit and then transferred to Illinois, or vice versa, one of the two. He tried.
Let me see. This is the wrong Michael Jordan Jr. This is a whole nother Michael Jordan Jr. Marcus Jordan. Okay, that's the name. Marcus Jordan. I thought
Marcus Jordan.
Okay. He was at UCF all 3 years.
Yep. Oh, okay. He was in UCF.
It might be the other brother. He had another brother, right?
Yeah, but I don't remember him getting nearly as much pub. He was a good kid. I think Marcus was the one that was the bad kid.
Yeah, Jeffrey played at Central Florida. Never was considered a prospect, and as the only thing, Marcus Jordan went to UCF. He has a degree in hospitality management. If you need some cocaine, he can find it for you.
So he can work at a few hotels.
My bad. My bad, Ocho. But Memphis, I'm gonna say this one team. I got one more team that I think this team will be perfect. This will be a interesting finals. This team even make it out the West, the Houston Rockets.
You know what? I've been waiting on the Houston Rockets. We've been talking about them a little bit throughout the year, our first part of the season. It wasn't too long ago they was the worst team in the league. So I mean, this is what we've been waiting on.
You know, they if I was Houston, I don't know if they want to break up that. They have the youth, they had the draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
You're a bad shooting team when you lead the league in offensive rebounds and second chance points.
Mm.
Now I get it. That's hustle, that's heart, but that's a lot of points to average on second chance.
Yeah, on second chance. Well, yeah, you that's grit, grind, heart, but still, that's a whole nother. I mean, you know, we talking about some good free agents coming up. We talking about a Booker that could help them, a Devin Booker that might help them.
You could have had KD at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean, it's plenty of options out there. So if they willing to do it, but like I say all the time, you got to do it smartly. It's not anything where you just out there all half and do it smartly. Please do it smartly.
I'm gonna create a trade for you while we're talking. While we're doing that, give us your most disappointing team this year in the NBA. I know there's a lot of them.
I mean, even though they ain't middle of the road, and we, what, this was in the rundown. Philly is one of the more disappointing teams to me. You bring in Paul George, Embiid is not doing what he normally does. Yeah, give me Philly, man.
Yeah, Fred Johnson.
What are they right now? What is Philly right now?
They're about 15 games under 500. They need to go ahead and sit down and be for the rest of the year and try to protect that pick they got going.
Yeah, I mean, when they said Paul George was going to Philly, there was a whole thing. There was a whole new energy going to them. But now it's like, was this the right move?
No, it wasn't the right move. And if I'm the if I was the Rockets, I would have thrown in the first round pick Fred VanVleet and Steven Adams for Kevin Durant. The money works, and you're getting off VanVleet's $42 million contract that you signed because you had to spend that money.
They're gonna want some picks with that. That ain't just. I don't think straight up. Steven Adams.
I say give about 2 first round picks.
Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. In a New York minute, like they say, anything can change.
Yeah, Fred asked a great question. Why did Joel play? Why did they play Joel? Why did they play him in the Olympics? Well, he if I that's a good question. He shouldn't have played because he was coming off a meniscus tear, and he still didn't look right. And then he had Bell's palsy also. Think about it.
Now, as somebody that's had that, the doctor gives you a prescription of steroids.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take those steroids, and you have to sit your behind down somewhere. So he comes off a meniscus tear and Bell's palsy. You be on the team, but you let everybody else play. They won a gold medal, but goodness gracious.
He had the Bell palsy in the NBA playoffs. He was fine after that. He averaged 36 and 15 with Bell palsy.
That man.
On one leg, and on one leg, and on one leg.
Atwater has had it. I've had it twice. And it's really, I don't know what's going on. If he had the thing about like when Atwater had some dental work done, and it hit a nerve, and he ended up coming back. With me, and I'm not sure what's going on with embiid. When I had it, I was stressed. I had it when I had to be 19, and then I had it again when I was in my 30s, and I was both times, two different situations. It was stress. So I don't know what he's stressing about, or if he had a surgery that they hit a nerve. But yeah, you gotta watch it. Take care of yourself, man. Gotta take care of yourself out there, MB. Come on, baby.
Yeah, I'm looking this up now. It'll be called by about 50, 11 different things that you wouldn't expect to cause it, because it hit, like you said, hit that. So and these somebody hit the nerve. They said the flu. And I'm like, flu B. So, but
it could be. I mean, you don't know how your body. I mean, it just goes back to the way the world is now versus when we was kids. Fade. It's so many different, and the way the food is produced now, it ain't the same. It ain't the same when we was growing up. I mean, it's just not. It's just not. I mean, things that were supposed to be good for us are not good for us. I mean, when we was kids, there wasn't no such thing as a gluten allergy. A gluten allergy. What was gluten in 1983? I'm just saying. So I mean, nowadays there's 100 million things, and most of these athletes on specialized diets. They on different things. They have chefs and everything to cook for them and everything. But still, even with all that, you don't know how different things are going to affect your body. How different foods and different things are going. So it's something else. That's something. It could be anything that gave him Bell's palsy.
Yeah, but that's just crazy. Yeah, meniscus, Bell's palsy, couldn't close his eye and still dropped 36-15 against the Knicks.
Well, clear eyes
on one leg.
He had clear eyes, full hearted. He couldn't lose.
And imagine if he was healthy in the Olympics. Imagine if he was really healthy.
Right.
That Serbia game would have been nowhere near close as it was.
Exactly.
And I don't remember we was talking about this during the summer last year. I want to touch on this real quick before we move to the NFL. Did you have a problem with Jason Tatum not playing a lot in the Olympics?
No, I didn't. Remember, we talked about it, and the thing was that I don't know if I think what it was more than anybody else, his biggest fan, his mama, had the biggest problem with him not playing. Now, and I said it. We can rewind the shows, and I said then, I can say it again. The man just came off of winning the NBA championship. He might have been in rest mode. We don't know, but I didn't have a problem with him not playing. When he did play, he was ineffective. He was not effective. He was not a game changer. The ones that brought it home are the ones who brought it home. You're playing terrible. Why would I play you? That I'm looking at it from a coach goggles, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, because they were saying they would give it to him in practice. He just wasn't. They were giving it to him, and think about everybody ahead of him and the makeup of the lineups.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I mean, it's Olympic. It's an Olympic roster. I mean, you had him, you had Booker, Durant on that team, LeBron, Steph Curry. I mean, you had the who's who of the NBA as the lead on that team. So you know, that's not really what you want. That's not really what you want. I know you want to show off for your country and everything, but as our co-host says, if that's a problem, thank God for your problems because it could always be worse.
Yeah, and the thing about, and to be fair, yeah, he's 6'9", 6'10". His shooting struggled since the Eastern Conference Finals. He's like his form looked off, and he was missing a lot of shots. So that's why his shooting was bad in those last two series.
Yeah,
I think he had fixed that after the Olympics, and of course he's having another great year, of course. But I mean, let me see what somebody say. Fred said he had a problem with it. They pulled him too quick. They treat him like a JV player. Yeah, I mean, I get that part, but at the same time, this is a quick. This is like a one and done tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I didn't have a problem with it because I'm not going to cater to somebody because of the feeling. I'm trying to win. At the end of the day,
that's the whole thing. At the end of the day, you want to win. Yeah, and that's what it was about, winning.
Yeah, because I think on Monday, it was Monday night, the Timberwolves played OKC. They put Edwards with 3:51 to go in the game. They were down 16. They talk about his calf injury. No, he pulled him because he shoved I think Isaiah Joe or somebody and just had a bad foul and he pulled him. And they wanted a 16-0 run to send it overtime. Then he had to key block when they brought it back in. I'm surprised they brought it back in, but they had a key block and they won the game. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Fred, but at the same time, my main goal is to win, and I cannot cater to egos. This was, and of course, Jason having another great year. He's not going to win MVP because he played for the Celtics. Your team just won the championship. I mean, you got to average almost damn near 40, like James Harden did that year to get an MVP. And I just don't think he's going to get an MVP while he's a Celtic. The team is too good because you have too much around. Because if you take Jason off the Celtics, you still have Jaylen Brown, you still have Derek White, you still have Drew Holiday, you still have Porzingis. Now if you take Jason Tatum, now if you take Jaylen Brown off that team, that's a little bit differently because he's the best two-way player in the NBA.
Right.
So I mean, that's how I look at it. If you take this person off the team, what would they look like? Which is why I think Joker, if they could get close, if they could, I need to go back to the. I think they're, I don't know if they were 8 games behind. 8 games behind the Thunder. Yeah, they're 8.5 games behind the Thunder. If they could make a little bit of a run and SGA have a little bit of a slump, Joker's averaging a triple double right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, but that's for the past 4 years. I know that's what he's been doing. He's the best big man in the NBA, and I'm just saying. I mean, he's the most. Well, let me say this: he's the most skilled big man in the NBA. Shoot, rebound, pass. Shoot, rebound, pass. Scores, rebound, passes. I mean, you're gonna have to equate that to a few more wins, and hopefully, like you said, SGA goes on a slump. You're gonna have some. You're gonna have some, but you got like I was talking about Memphis. Got to get that jello jiggling and get it gelling. Get it back where it was a couple of years ago when you won a championship, baby. Get it back.
I think Michael Porter Jr. has been a large disappointment in that offense. He already missed 1 year because of the back, because the Clippers were going to take him. They were scared off because of his back. I think you could get something for him to build that bench. I don't know how he would fit with Houston, but I don't know why I keep thinking Houston would be a good fit. But if the Nuggets want to be bold in what they do, Fred, tell me if I'm crazy if you're still watching. I'm gonna come up with a trade right quick. We're gonna get to the NBA. We're gonna be NFL. We're gonna get to the NFL. We're gonna get to I'm
all our NFL off-season NFL fans that really want to know.
I mean, I don't gonna lie to you. NFL's over, but at the same time, the combine started this week. Cam Ward and Shador said they're not throwing. They're gonna throw at their pro day. I really don't have a problem with it because all the combine is medicals. When you think about it, it's just medicals. See, if I do this, I know he's not going nowhere. If I do that and add, if I say Denver, give me three of your first round picks, Michael Porter, and two more players. You have Kevin Durant.
Woo-wee. That would be something else. Like Kevin Hart said, boy, that is something else. That is something else.
For folks that think I'm crazy, I mean, because you're gonna have Jamal Murray and Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's easy 80 points right there. I mean,
the thing about it though is that we've talked about KD and his where he wants to play, and if he can feel like he wants to feel, wants to practice and do all this. If he feels good in Denver, oh my goodness. Oh my good! If he feels good and he fits what they're doing, oh my goodness!
I mean, the way Mike Malone's offense is very fluid, and everything gonna run through Joker. Everything gonna run through Joker. With Jamal Murray,
I mean, that's pick your poison because you got two top 20 players in the NBA right there. And didn't KD, did he get MVP? He got an MVP once. He got one MVP, doesn't he? 2014 MVP, and you got a two-time MVP. So, and an NBA champion. If they trying to get back fast, I pull the trigger.
I just put in our group chat and see what they say. Fred, I don't know if you're back on, but I propose that you trade Michael Porter Jr., two more players, just pick two of them, and 2 first-round picks for Kevin Durant in the offseason.
Man, that's tough there. You pull that trigger, man, and it's gonna make you dollars. It's making logical sense. So, man, be Rocky Mountain High for real, then, boy. I tell you what.
Yeah, because he already like to smoke anyway. So I mean, that's a bonus.
Legalize.
All right, let's get off the NBA. We gave them too much credit already. So let's do our NFL confidential. Let's start in the AFC East. Things that each team need to do. I'm gonna start with you and go with the Jets. We have a new coach, new general manager. No Aaron Rodgers. He's gonna probably be a post June 1 designated cut, so they can save some money on the cap. What are two moves the Jets need to do? Oh, by the way, they're rated an F by an anonymous poll by their own players. Said Woody Johnson gives an F.
Right off the bat, man, you got to get a better captain and quarterback. Somebody that's gonna play the system. And one of the names is gonna sound funny, but why don't you bring back Darnold? Why don't you bring back Sam Darnold? He's a mature. He's been around. He's a better player now than when he left. Get him some people that you got to do that, and get him some people that's going to, don't just bring him some people that's going to protect him, like the Secret Service. Mm-hmm. Bring him some people that's going to protect him. After you do that, what's the status on Devontae? Is he a free agent, or is he still locked into that deal, the trade deal?
Still got that same. He still got that same deal he got from the Raiders. I think got still 2 more years on it.
Okay, so I mean that's not a bad person to have with you. You sure that offensive line up so he can throw the ball. You just got to look back at the tape that he did, because he was. Let's think about this. Sam Darnold And I would give Sam Darnold all the credit in the world because I remember last year I made all these jokes about the Vikings and Sam Darnold. Oh my goodness, he is proving me 100% wrong. Why not? Why not bring Sam Darnold back to New York? Just bring him back, but offensively, you got to give him some help and give me one or two guys on the defensive line, on the defensive side of the football that can actually play some football that can stop some people. Because that's one of the problems. They couldn't stop nobody. And Aaron Rodgers is he's little too long in the tooth to be effective as he wanted to be.
If I'm the Jets, I'll trade for JJ McCarthy instead of have Darnold come back.
I mean, he's still on a rookie contract. He ain't played this year, so why not? He's coming to you pretty much outside of the injury. He hadn't had an NFL snap. He hadn't had an NFL hit. So I wouldn't object to it at all.
If I'm the Jets, you probably have one of the most talented rosters that was mismanaged last year by Robert Saleh. And Robert Saleh, I think Aaron Rodgers could have did more. What hurt that team, be honest with you, when Rodgers said, I'm not going to be a mandatory training camp. You get the schedule when mandatory camps occurs. It's usually in June. And you want to go to Egypt. But that's just
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a strange cat, man. I mean, we talking going back to COVID when he supposedly got vaccinated and he was what did he say? He was,
yeah, he was immunized.
Yeah, he was immunized and all this and everything. So it goes, when you think about all that, and what's the other thing that he does is everybody considers to be weird?
Ayahuasca.
That too. So I mean, it's a lot with that guy that makes you think that he's just a different bird. I mean, this man is got to be one of the most intelligent people in the entire world. He's hosted Jeopardy. Was going to try to figure out a way to continue to host Jeopardy, and continue to play NFL football. I don't know how he was going to do it, but he's just a strange bird, man. But I mean, he's a 3-time MVP, if not 4. So I mean, why not take you take a chance on him?
And he's a strange bird, but think about it, he from Waynesville, California, is legal there also. But he he went to Cal. So for you to go to Cal, pretty smart.
Yeah. Pretty much. You go Cal Berkeley. If you don't go to Stanford, you don't get accepted to Stanford, and you go to Cal Berkeley. That's not a bad step down.
No, it's not. Even UCLA.
Right. Any of those schools in the old Pac-10, Pac-12.
Yeah.
Notice I say the old Pac-10, Pac-12.
You can't beat that. Yeah, if I'm the Jets, I would. Your offensive line is solid to me. I think Aaron Rodgers was just old. Quarterback is the move, and what you're gonna do with Sauce Gardner? You're gonna Sauce Gardner.
I mean, he is pretty much. I'm keeping Sauce if I can. If we can work something out. I'm keeping Sauce because it didn't make any. It doesn't. He is the equivalent of trying to shut down one side of your field. He at one point he was that difference maker when you knew you had to fight to play against him. You knew you had to really be careful on that side of the football field. So I'm trying to keep Sauce Gardner. And if you got a happy Sauce Gardner with some good moves, you got yourself a viable player. I mean, he's how many times has he been in Pro Bowl?
Might have been 2, but I'm not confident on the answer.
Okay. So I mean, he's only been in the league, 4 or 5 years at the most?
3.
So yeah. So I mean, yeah. He's still a great player. You can build a lot around that young guy.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the Patriots. You got a new coach. You got rid of the black guy for the white guy. I mean, if you only reason why you had Gerard Mayo, he was a coach in waiting. is because you couldn't get Vrabel. You could that's a lie. You could have got Vrabel. You really could have, but you hired Gerard Mayo so quick.
You didn't wait. You weren't patient enough. You know what? You got a decent nucleus. You got a good quarterback in May.
You got two good quarterbacks. Joe Milton looked pretty good in that finale.
Yeah, you're right. One of the things you just need, you got to build around the people you got. You got to make a decision to their QB spot, but you got to build around some people you got. You got to get some people that want to play Robert Kraft style, and I don't mean because here's the thing. Robert Kraft is one of those owners similar to Jerry Jones, to where he's still living in basking in the glory of those Tom Brady, Belichick championship years. So I'm of the thought that it's just, it's one of those things to where he could, if he gets it the way he wants it, and he's got his coach there, you get the people that play the system right. Mm-hmm. Vrabel knows what he wants because Vrabel has played for him. That's how he ended up being the coach. But so did Mayo. I guess he didn't give him enough of what he wanted, but and plus there was something different about Gerard Mayo.
I wonder what it could have been.
I don't know. I have no clue. No clue at all.
I have no black clue. I mean, backhand idea. Backhand idea. This is a very colorful conversation.
It is a very colorful, but I still, even though this is a very colorful conversation, I still have no idea why. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
No, we're doing John Cena, but we're not doing John Cena. But all right, Miami Dolphins. What are you doing that team? Because you extended Tua, but he missed 4 or 5 games last year. And
the very first thing I'm doing, I am requiring Tua to get a guardian cap. No choice. Get me a guardian cap. Plenty of players play with that guardian cap. If you remember Steve Tasker, old safety for the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
One of the better special teamers in the league at that time, 80s, 90s. Before there was a guardian cap, Steve Tasker used to have this big old thing on top of his helmet. He was one of the few that wore that thing. It protected his brain from concussion because he knew the job that he had to do. Get to a guardian cap. That's the first thing. Second, you got some of the better wide receivers, one of the better wide receiver units in the league. Let's keep it that way. Let's figure something out so you can keep your stars happy, aka Tyreek Hill. Keep them happy. That's the only way you're ever going to be able to do anything, is because you got to keep that speed on the field. Next, the only other thing that you need is you're going to have a better defensive football team. You're in games, you're playing in a tough division. Maybe you need 1 or 2 more people. Maybe you need 1 or 2 more people on that side of the football to make it happen.
Yeah. If I'm Mike McDaniel, and obviously after the season, and they say we're finding guys for being late and all this type of stuff, you should have suspended them. Money's not a thing for these guys. Playing is, you gotta take a stand and suspend them. If Tyreek Hill, if I'm him, I will say, Tyreek, we love you, come to practice, but we're gonna suspend you the first game of the season. I mean, you could trade him to the Rams and see what that would do. Trade him for Cooper Kupp.
You trade him for Cooper Kupp. I'm just saying. Either 1 or 2 things are going to happen. Either Cooper Kupp is going to have a great year, or Matthew Stafford is going to stay in LA, and they're gonna have a great year too. One of them two things are gonna happen.
Think about it, you got Puka Nacua on one side, and you got Speed on the opposite side. That will be.
Boy, have mercy, Jesus.
Yeah, if I'm Cooper Cup, I'll go to Miami because I mean, Tua gonna need a big receiver because those guys they're breakdancers. They like 5'10", 5'11", if that.
Right.
And
right.
I mean, I'm now we fast forward a month and the draft day is here. We on day 2 we hear a trade about Cooper Cup going to Miami for Tyreek Hill. We know who to get credit for.
Yeah, we need to. You make sure you heard it here. You tell them where you heard it first. Yeah, tell them where you heard it first.
February 26th. D4 Battle. Now let's go ahead and touch on the Buffalo Bills. They were this much on a Josh Tosh or tush push or brotherly shove from winning.
What have you?
What have you? They could have won the NFC Championship game, but that was the one game in the playoffs and all the playoff games that a team lost the turnover battle and they won. Kansas City made more plays. What does Buffalo need?
I mean, Buffalo needs. Give me somebody else that can catch that football besides Amari Cooper. Give me another receiver for Josh Allen. Give me one more. I'm not asking for a lot. Give me one more. Give me one more decent receiver. Give me a little more help, and not on the defensive. That defensive line played well in that game.
But you need a closer. You need a closer.
Yeah, you need somebody that's gonna close the game. You got my boy James Cook out there looking like he played at Georgia for 4 years, but he ain't played but what 2, 3 out there doing his thing. Offensively, you give me one more person, you great. Defensively, first of all, Von Miller, let's go back and do the podcast. Let's do the podcast. Let's go on and you got you a Super Bowl with Denver. You're taking somebody's spot right now. Somebody
the Rams. You got one with the Rams also.
Yeah, got one with the Rams also. So you got the two. Please give a young fella that's hungry a spot so we can get better. They can get better on defense.
Yeah, I will say, of course, Myles Garrett will be the ideal pick, but But Cleveland will be a fool to train him within the conference.
Yeah, that's true. And I can see it. I can see where you're coming from, Faye, but at least he ain't trading them within the division.
Imagine him on the Ravens.
Imagine him because as great as TJ Watt is, imagine him with that black and gold on. Jesus. Move Highsmith to the inside linebacker besides Patrick Queen. You got the best unit in all of football.
Only problem y'all still don't have a quarterback, and Matt Stafford would make the most sense. I mean, Matt Stafford.
But you still got to score. You still got to score.
You need another receiver.
We'll run Warren to death, but you still got to score.
Yeah, need another receiver. I think Pickens' deal is up after this year. I think they still need a receiver. Which goes back to Deebo Samuel might be on the board for Pittsburgh.
I don't know if Deebo Samuel, South Carolina, University of South Carolina guy. I don't know if he's a cold weather guy. And that's the thing. Like Pittsburgh is when it gets into November, late October, November, it gets different. It's a different cold than it is out there in San Francisco. It's a different cold than it is in South Carolina. So I would love to have him. Don't get it twisted. I would love to have him. But I want to make sure that the same Deebo Samuel, I want the same Deebo Samuel from a couple of years ago to come to Pittsburgh. Excuse me.
Yeah, this year was just a bad year because I think this when
McCaffrey went down and when McCaffrey went down and didn't play a lot of games, it fractured the team. Madden curse.
Yeah,
Madden curse.
Madden curse. That's all you can blame it on. Well, we haven't talked about AFC North. We'll get to that, but I think Myles Garrett need to go to Detroit. If you go to Detroit, that's that's not going to be a pretty sight. Because I think Detroit will be a lot healthier this year. I think
you got Aiden Hutchinson. He's running now. Aiden Hutchinson is getting ready for week 1 already. I mean, he got hurt, and it's in the timetable. But you put Aiden Hutchinson on one side, and Myles Garrett doesn't get a whole lot of. He doesn't get enough to me. We already know who he is, but he doesn't get enough to me. Yeah. So you put him in there, he's going. That may be what they need to get them over the hump into their first Super Bowl.
Yeah. Shoot. Well, it's been fun. Hopefully, we have some more folks on the show with us next week. These guys are refereeing games, and that's a big deal, especially in this late in the season. You're refereeing playoff games this late. That's a big honor to do that. So we crack jokes, but we miss our guys, and you get that playoff win. So we ain't knocking it. But
man,
we ain't knocking. But want to thank everybody for watching tonight. You know where to follow us at. We'll holler.
Good evening. Stay blessed.